Hello curious cats, welcome to Curiosity Kills, and this is Mahisha Desai and we are going to talk about silence. So what is silence? Silence in general is absence of sound. But if we go a bit deeper, sounds are also present in our minds. So if we exaggerate or go deeper into the definition of silence, silence is absence of intake, or we can say that intake of outer environment to our mind. So as our mind, basically we interact through our five senses to our outer life, and anything, even if it's touch, it's visuals, everything go through our minds. And even in our minds, imagination, thinking, all these intakes, all this noise, or we can say that intaking or absorbing, iska absence is silence. So what is silence used for? Why silence is important? Silence is important because it gives you space. So like in emotions, peace is somewhere very similar to silence, as it gives you break from every emotion. It's basically absence of emotions. So silence gives you break because silence is never permanent. Actually, silence, in a way, true silence is very impossible to achieve, but we have the layers of it. Like you can stop or make less noise around you, like you can आप noise कम कर सकते हो अपने आसपास, या फिर अपने thoughts शांत कर सकते हो. You can close your eyes. All of this you use it for focus. A moment of silence, of basically blocking the outer intakes that are constantly coming towards you. You block them for a while. You give your mind space for focusing. And focusing is basically you bring your mind in such moment where it starts giving instead of taking. So like in time of making an important decision, thinking something, you want to write something, you want to analyze something, for all these activities when you need performance of your mind, you take a step back. So it's like you give your mind space, and from that you bring out some interesting stuff. So basically silence is a key or a tool for you to have some space for your brain to give out, for your brain activity to happen, and for a while you stop the constant outside intakes. So as I talked about loneliness in last video, silence is a very intimate and a very connected part of the lonely situation, because in loneliness there is absence of lots of intaking slows down. Like your brain can process things, your brain gets space, it goes through that silence of many things for it to react. You can think, you can do imagination, your brain starts doing what it should do, or brain की processing चालू हो जाती. So that's why silence is another loneliness का एक सब topic kind of thing it is. So yeah, silence, and that is the thing. मैंने last video में जो बोला था that we are not lonely anymore. Same for silence. The no, I would say that world has become a bit more noise wala and louder than first it used to be. Not in a sense of outside world, but in our minds. I mean, people have got so many platforms where they can express. There's so much we are intaking constantly through our phones. We have made our lifestyles such that we don't have moment of silence there. We have a lot of friends, even especially young generation. We have a lot of friends, and we have TVs, we have phones, interaction, social media, our constant even the constant learning process. We have access of lots of things through social media, through we communicate with each other. We have phones, technology of phones, we can call someone, we can. In such situation, it is very hard for us to get lonely or have a moment of silence. And the more important thing is that people don't know importance of silence for the most part, at least our generation. The constant intaking and the more of thing that worries this, most of the thing we are intaking right now, like our intake has increased a lot. We talk, we interact, we see something, we even read comment section. There are lots of option for our mind to intake, so much so that even our surrounding or noticing our surrounding, even while eating we see TV or anything like that. So we are constantly surrounded by noise, not noise in sound way, but in overall noise has increased. So this constant intake makes our minds numb. The mind of this generation is not used to, it is more used to intaking than than processing or thinking and doing what brain actually should do. That is a very thing that is worrying, like ये चिंताजनक चीज है. And that's why I want you all to know that silence is very important. Silence is very important because a moment where you lower the noise of surrounding you stop intaking things, your mind will process. If we provide our minds constant things to intake, and there is no space for focusing, no movement where your brain processes and gives out things, obviously our critical thinking, our IQ levels are gonna decrease. And I think, like, most of studies have also shown that the younger generation, our generation and younger generation than us, we are all having lower IQs and critical thinking than our past generations. And the biggest reason is our lifestyles has changed a lot, and due to this our mind's way of processing have also changed. Our minds are becoming more numb because they are taking lots of constant information, and even though informations which are not useful for the most part, like lots of random information, entertainment videos, reels, comment section, such shows which don't make your brain exercise or do critical thinking. Our brains are slowly numbing down. Generations are becoming dumber, which is a very thing to worry about. But the harsh truth is that people and our generation and younger generation, people don't think or think this subject is important, or they don't know that silence is important, loneliness is important. Our minds to work, or we building our minds in such way that they become critical is important. These things are overlooked in all of us human beings. Our lifestyles have become such that our minds are becoming number and generations are becoming number. And this thing is a very worrying thing, and it is very important for us to know that these things like silence, loneliness, it is important for our mind to process, our mind to work and express. And yeah, this much for today. Thank you, Curious Cats. See you in another video. Bye bye.